I'm going to tell you guys how to get over a mental block. First of all, mental block is mental. It's all into your head. So you need to make sure that you divert your mind from what you're doing, because sometimes work gets so stressful. It gets stressful for everyone. So when work gets stressful, we are artists are some people who work from with their mind, with their brains all the time. We think so many things. We like there are ideas going on, and sometimes it gets over cluttered. So in that case, what I would normally suggest is you take a break from it. You break the chain of your thoughts and try to focus on something else, because sometimes the inspiration that you're looking for is not in your thoughts. It's maybe outside your head, which you need to then put it into your head. So what I would normally suggest, take a break, go for a vacation if possible, or just go and hang out with friends if you want. Make sure that you lower your stress down, and you're just free of all your responsibilities as of now as an artist. Once your responsibilities are off your shoulder, music is very, very instinctive. It will automatically come to you, because that's what it helps me. Because normally this city, Bombay city, used to inspire me a lot. In the lockdown, I had sort of a mental block, not exactly a mental block. Like, it's not that I was not able to write at all, but only a certain topics I was not able to address them. For that reason, when after we started unlocking the city, I went for a ride. I went and I saw the city around again. I saw people, what they were doing and everything. From that, I gained a lot of ideas, and my brain started working again. Sometimes you also sleep over it. You give it like a few days, a few weeks if you want to, and then get back to the topic. While doing that, you can also do this, that you can write down your ideas. Okay, if sometimes we are not working and we get an idea, so it's always good to write it down. So when you're working, when you have a mental block, you already have a list of ideas ready, which you had written when you did not have a mental block. So that really helps you get out of that. So just break the whole chain, break the monotony, and just go towards a different direction. That will open a lot of mental block gates for you.
Agreed. And definitely, it's just about getting a different perspective, and not overworking yourself on a topic that isn't going anywhere. Maybe you need to just move away from it, and then suddenly something that you're doing, even if it's watching a movie or taking a walk, something might spark your interest and be like, okay, that wasn't working, but maybe I can take this direction, or maybe I can work around it in that way. So, and if unless it's like super important and you're on a time constraint, maybe it's not meant to be, and something else comes up, and you end up working on something else. Another way to break, writer's block or a mental block when it comes to music, I think is, re-inspiring yourself, with what originally, keeps you excited and interested, with hip hop and rap. So like for me, what works is watching an interview of a rapper, that I'm super inspired by. Like if I watch a Kanye West interview, or anyone, on my favorite, Hot 97 or Breakfast Club, any of these, rap shows where they interview rappers. For me, it's like I get to see the record side of, it is more just them talking as humans, and I get to relate to the human, rather than the artist, who I just hear on the music all the time. So that inspires me. Or listening to old music, which kind of brought me into hip hop, or listening to new music, because that might spark something. That might be like, oh wow, I never heard this type of thing before. Maybe I want to do something different with it, and it'll inspire me to do something. Or is there a new sound out that that is trendy, and you want to like incorporate it into your music? So it's about kind of keeping yourself inspired. As an artist, you tend to reinvent yourself. Artists are, trends are, music trends are always changing every few years. There's a new wave of hip hop kind of running the scene. Like I guess right now drill is super trendy, and it's having its moment. It's been around for a while, in certain territories like the UK. We've heard in Australia and a lot of territories, but now it's seeing a global, it's in the forefront. So just keeping yourself inspired, and not it's also about monotony. You don't want to stick on the same path all the time. So if you're tired and you're not getting anything fresh, put fresh ideas in your head, and then something new will come out.
रिसर्चिंग और थिंकिंग अगर आप करना चाहते हो लाइक वो भी एक चीज़ होती है जो आपका मेंटल ब्लॉक हटा सकती है। जैसे कि आप अगर आपको कोई अंदर से ऐसी फीलिंग नहीं आ रही है या अपने बारे में अगर आपको कोई चीज़ बोलने नहीं हो रही है, बीट के ऊपर आप लिख नहीं पा रहे हो, तो आप व्हाट यू कैन डू इज यू कैन स्टार्ट लुकिंग फॉर सम टॉपिक्स दैट यू कैन रैप अबाउट, समथिंग दैट यू बीन थिंकिंग ऑफ फॉर सो लॉन्ग। मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं आईपीएल चल रहा है तो अगर मैं क्रिकेट के बारे में सोच रहा हूँ और मेरा फेवरेट टीम है मुंबई इंडियंस, तो मैं मुंबई इंडियंस के बारे में कुछ लिखने की कोशिश करूँगा या समथिंग अबाउट द सिचुएशन दैट इन आईपीएल लाइक जो मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा, या maybe like there's a movie coming out which I'm excited about, and the topic that movie talks about, maybe I can rap about that, maybe and put forward my thoughts about it. So researching is very important because when you're writing a song about a topic, you make sure that you say all the best things about that topic which people are interested in knowing. So इसलिए research करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. When it comes to research, you can read a lot of books, you can read newspapers, you can read Wikipedia, you can go on YouTube and check out videos related to that topic. There are movies, there are plays, there are songs related to that. Like sometimes I do this, like if I have to write on a particular topic, I write in Hindi a lot right nowadays. So to inspire myself, I go on Spotify. For an example, if that day I had to write about maybe a topic, it was like maybe like love topic, okay, so I went on and I started searching how my favorite rapper would rap about love, or how my favorite rapper would rap about a particular game. Like for example, if I have to write about Jay-Z or Drake talking about basketball, and if I have to write the same song for my for the local basketball team in my city, I would always refer to their songs and see what are the major points that they spoke about. Which makes it like a perfect song for that particular topic. So I do these kind of things. I go back to the old songs that used to inspire me. Like I never forget my roots, because in hip hop you should always see where you came from. I started listening to witty music of Eminem and Method Man, Redman, and all these people were my inspiration. So sometimes when I have a mental block, I go back to their music. I see how Eminem simply became such a hit overnight with his simplicity. So I keep reminding myself that because I'm having a mental block, I'm trying to complex things. I need to keep it simple. And sometimes that just quickly works. You just quickly get a hook in your head. I'm like, oh, it was right there in front of me. Where was I for so long? I was not able to think about it. So that's one thing which you can do. Watching a lot of movies also helps, because movies a film is also a creative piece of art. So that also can inspire you. The script of the film, the set of the film, the dialogues, the kind of mood that they set, the references that you can use and everything. These are the kind of things that we always go to, because there's always so much of art in the world that there is always something that you can go to get inspired. Also, one practice that I do is that, for an example, today I don't have a mental block, but my mind is overflowing with ideas. But I don't let those ideas go to waste. I make a note of it on a notepad. So tomorrow when I have a mental block, what I can do is I can always go back to the archives of my ideas. तो ऐसा लगेगा नहीं कि मेरे को mental block है. So sometimes I go and flex to people saying, अरे अपने को कभी mental block होता ही नहीं है. अब भी तेरे को चाहिए तो अब भी इधर एक idea दे सकता है. But those ideas are actually coming from my jhola, which I've been saving those ideas either for tomorrow. Like I might get a big opportunity to work with my idol, with the greatest rapper. For example, I'm in a studio with Eminem, and I have to write something quickly, and I have a mental block, or because I'm nervous in front of my idol, I'm not able to write quickly. So I might miss out on that opportunity because of my lack of preparation. So for mental block, preparation is very, very important. This is our profession. Rapping is our profession. When it becomes your profession, you will realize how important preparation is, because everyone does that in their profession. So this is the preparation for rapping, for making sure that you're ready for any sort of situation.
Another technique, for fighting writer's block and mental block when it comes to writing music, we incorporate this exercise of writing in our songwriting camps. I do this at home alone, or when we're with the entire crew. We basically line up, like 20 beats or like 10 beats, and we keep a timer for each beat, 15 minutes, and we have everyone in the room kind of say, okay, guys, for this beat, 15 minutes, we need a hook, or we need some sort of, word, or, something, or melody, whatever it is. But we're gonna put an idea down for each of the beats, and then we're gonna come back in a couple of hours and be like, okay, what's the best idea, and then move on from there. And maybe sometimes we won't even make it to the fifth beat, and we're like, wow, this idea is crazy. Because even a song like Vibe Hai came out in 15 minutes, or
Absolutely,
or
yeah.
Walla came out in like 5 minutes, or this came, like Kaun Hai Tu, it barely took us like 5-10 minutes to just get out this type of things, because
It's also important to sit with your co-rappers and your
Yeah.
co-artists, because you get a lot of inspiration and ideas from them as well. Because
sure.
the reason why we have camps is for that reason.
yeah, to sit, create a vibe. And normally it happens by, we put on the beat and people are just walking around the room and kind of just literally saying gibberish, and normally subconsciously a word pops out.
Yeah, and somebody sometimes cracks a joke which becomes like the main
Yeah,
topic
like
of
in
it.
fact Vibe Hai came out because you were wearing Vibe
Yeah.
on your t-shirt.
Yeah, I was wearing a t-shirt
That said
from
Vibe.
That said Vibe, and Divine was like,
we were
oh, Vibe,
Vibe,
Vibe.
you know.
And he said, you
know I got that vibe. So like right away, that became the hook,
Yeah, that's how
and it
it
was
became.
there, and it's just off of what happened in the moment, and it all comes from starting with just literally speaking gibberish from what you're hearing. So the first thing that comes to mind subconsciously, if it's a word, you kind of follow that lead, and wherever it takes you. So I think I've kind of trained myself. I think we've all trained ourselves to not overthink. And as soon as something comes into play, you kind of just follow it. Because obviously, I'm not gonna, me being someone who's interested in, okay, money or jewelry or like, living life or whatever, I'm not gonna suddenly start doing gibberish about war or something, Something's gonna come out of my mouth which is towards what I like, even if for you
Yeah.
it might be the same, whatever you're interested will subconsciously come out of your
No, actually,
your
he's
mouth.
right, because by doing gibberish, sometimes you come up with new flows or new tunes.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Vibe Hai, initially we only knew the word Vibe Hai, Vibe Hai. So we were just going Vibe Hai, Vibe Hai. And then we were like, da 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 da, da 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 da, la 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 la,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. And then you're like, ye blah 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 blah. It's
Yeah.
something we should write. So we're like, chokre sab hard, isliye to Vibe Hai, Vibe Hai, Vibe Hai, Vibe Hai, chokre sab hard. So, and then he said, let's add something like even more melodic, like, I got that vibe.
Yeah.
So, because he was
it's
there.
filling the spaces.
Yeah, because he was there, Divine was there, I was there. We, all three of us, like even Avruti or Alta for that matter, during that song,
Yeah.
we all came up with different ideas, and that's how that whole hook sounds like that. Because the Hindi part comes from Divine,
Yeah.
the English part, I got that vibe, and that whole melody of it comes from Sharul. So it's important when you sit together and you brainstorm. Like everybody, like how brainstorms on ideas, we brainstorm on songs.
Yeah.
So it can take 5 minutes, it can take 15 minutes, depends on how pumped up and how charged up you are.
I think even something like Vibe Hai, we had just gone for fish thali, so we just come back all
Yes, that
full
was- we were in
and
Goa
happy.
that time,
so we were in good spirits, and compared to later in the night, it was just, I think you guys were in another room, and me and Divine were just more mellowed. And that's how we came up with Walla, which is a much more serious track. So I guess the mood of the room definitely, dictates what's gonna happen. So
Yeah,
I think those type of exercises to kind of give you a little time constraint to come up with something, because whatever the first idea is, just go with it, because you never know what happens. And it's not like you're gonna, even if you waste that 15 minutes and go with something, you can work on another track.
You get the first idea and then you sleep over it, because then the idea evolves once you give it more time. But then
100%.
go with the first idea, because hooks and all these things, like, it should be simplified.
Yeah.
So that people can sing it back. Once
Agreed.
people start singing a song back, then the song is popular.
Yeah, repetition is like a must for sure.
Absolutely, yes.